You may never get everyone to agree on the greatest songs ever, but Rolling Stone is giving it a shot. On Friday, the magazine unveils the 500 greatest songs of all time in a special collector's edition, an updated version of a list at first compiled in 2004. Here exclusively to run down the top 5 is Rolling Stone contributing editor ALANLIGHT. Alan, good to see you.
Good morning.
First, let's talk about criteria.
It was a straight vote, actually 2 straight votes, as you said. In 2004, we first did the 500 greatest songs. There were about 200 people voted. Musicians, journalists, executives, members of Pearl Jam and Metallica and the Beastie Boys. And then last year we did a best of the decade.
Right.
And so in wanting to revisit this, we kind of took those votes and then fused those and turned them into a new list.
All right. Before we get to the top 5, you'll notice as you go out and buy this on newsstands that it is very 60s and 70s centric. It is very much a baby boomers list. There's not much hip hop. There's not much of a lot of other stuff on there.
There's a decent number of hip hop, and in truth, we added about 25 to 30 songs from the last 5 years since the last list. So there's new stuff.
All right, number 5. Why is Aretha Franklin Respect number 5 on your list?
Well, Respect is certainly an anthem for women, a song that Otis Redding wrote that was great enough when he did it, that she took and really transcended, and somebody that Rolling Stone named the greatest singer of all time just last year.
Very good point.
Her definitive performance.
Phenomenal. Absolutely. We have no argument with that. Number 4, Marvin Gaye. This was also on my top list.
Well, What's Going On was really a transitional song, a song that showed that R&B and soul music could be protest music, could be socially aware. It didn't sound like anything else out there, and certainly one of my favorite singers of all time.
And it's also a song, if you ever hear it, you never turn it off. Ever.
The feel, the groove. The first song that we played in the hospital after my baby was born, in fact.
Thank you very much. All right, number 3, this one, people are going to scream, jump at you, they will attack you on the street. John Lennon, Imagine.
Well, I don't know that there's much fight with that. What's interesting to me is that Imagine came in higher than any Beatles song did. There are more Beatles songs than anybody else on this list, but Hey Jude at number 8 was the highest one. But Imagine has become such a global anthem, so meaningful to so many people, such a flawless melody. Lot of voters behind that.
Number 2, I have no fight with this one either, because I think this actually exemplifies when the Rolling Stones hit it.
Satisfaction, the greatest guitar riff of all time for sure. The Stones defining what rock and roll spirit could be, defining a completely new attitude, and a song that still gets your blood racing however many years later.
And last but not least, Bob Dylan, and people will wrestle you to the street on this one.
Like a Rolling Stone was so significant in rock, rock and roll, getting literate lyrics, important lyrics as a top hit single. Nobody had done that before.
All right. This is the best thing about these. When you do these,
you start a fight.
You should bring it to the dinner table, bring your friends, and you'll have a good time all night long.
It only works if people argue about it.
That's it, Alan. Thank you so much. Do appreciate it.
A lot happens early on The Early Show, weekday mornings on CBS.